Hey everybody, do you guys like Kirk Cameron? Boy, howdy, I hope you do, because we're going to be talking about him a lot today. Also, puppets, also weird articles, and maybe weird websites. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All that and more on.
Zadanza.
Boom! Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Zadanza, the Thursday night broadcast that happens live every week, 9 p.m. Thursdays Central Time. I'm Objectively Dan. That's Prophet Azad. Azad, I'm going to give you my Nancy Pelosi clap. Good job, because that's like the fastest that we've gotten through that intro. No more not a real awkward pause in
I
between.
don't think at any point did we noticeably mess that one up.
No,
So, you know,
no, I think it was pretty good. So good job for that.
I do want to bring one thing up.
Yep.
Shivers had a crush on Kirk Cameron when he was on Growing Pains Vomit. I
Yeah,
thought that deserved a little attention.
you and apparently, spoiler alert, 50,000 people that wrote letters to him a month, allegedly. Maybe we'll get to that. So yeah, fun stuff. Kirk Cameron. Hey, you may have saw that we did kind of a fun oldies Christian stuff. And it just so happened that Kirk Cameron announced the wildest shit this week. So, it's kind of a good transition to kind of talk about him a little bit more, specifically this new project. I don't think it's been talked about a whole lot because I got this off of the CBN Christian Broadcast News, baby. The only place to get your news. And it's pretty funny. It's
And
pretty
the
funny.
CBN video on YouTube had a total of 7,000 views. So,
That's right.
everyone's talking about Kirk Cameron and his new.
And hey, if you
Mhm.
like this show, you should support it by giving us super chats, because every time we do CBN, we seem to get copyright strikes. So we're not going to monetize this one. So like and subscribe if you like this program here. But anyway, yeah, Kirk Cameron, what a guy, huh? Growing Pains. That's a show. That was a thing. Um,
We're gonna see
yeah.
a current interview, and you will notice he is every bit the heartthrob
Oh
as he
yeah.
was when he was on Growing Pains.
Yeah.
And I am not indirectly look shaming someone.
Oh, no. I should say this. Last time I made a joke saying Kirk Cameron describing himself as an actor is like, what did I say? It's like me saying that I was a Hindu. Which, to be fair, he was an actor. I mean, he
Yeah.
has acted. I just, it's
If
Kirk
you see
Cameron.
if you see him on one of those Kendricks Brothers movies, he sticks out among all the people they just pull out of a church. Like, he obviously is a, capable actor.
Yeah, I literally, just growing up in the time I've grown up in, and also just in the media I've consumed, I've only ever really known him as an apologist guy. I kind of forget that, oh yeah, he did have like a real career in acting. So,
He
props
didn't
to
come
him
right out
for
of his
that.
mother's womb holding a picture of a crocoduck.
No, it didn't come out, although that'd be awesome. I mean, oof. I don't know what happens to a man uh when that I mean, we'll talk about that maybe actually. This article I may have found about how he became a Christian is kind of interesting, kind of insightful in a way. But we'll get to it when we get to it. For now, let's talk about this new exciting Kirk Cameron venture. For all of you looking to invest in new exciting projects for children's Christian media, Azad.
Yeah, there's a few different layers to this, but I think we should just let this interview kind of drive the course of this program because he lays a lot
Mhm.
of interesting stuff out, and I think we need to let the world see and digest and discuss it.
Yeah, I think so too.
So we
Slap
present
that
you.
shit.
This is titled "Kirk Cameron Takes on Dystopian Circus Show."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The
Says
good
people are
stuff.
finally waking up.
Yeah.
So yeah, here we
I
go.
You
Here we
have
go.
another
Oh,
amazing
sorry, did I
project.
interrupt you?
No, I was just gonna say, I wonder how much money you have to pay CBN to get featured on the channel, because it doesn't seem like I wonder, like, are how do they legally call themselves an entertainment organization, kind of like what Fox does with Tucker Carlson and all those other shows, right? Is CBN one of those kinds of outlets? So they can just get like paid sponsorship, because this feels like paid sponsorship, but I don't know. Anyway, we'll see.
No, I think the guy on the left is just a journalist who found a scoop on the latest thing the kids are all talking about
Yeah.
these days.
He's on the trail. He's on the beat. Absolutely. But I know how these things kind of work, right? Like, they give out Kirk Cameron's company knows CBN exists, so he sends out a press release, and they probably scheduled an interview or something. But yeah, very
It really bothers me
incestuous.
if I hold my hand over the top half of Kirk Cameron's face, he looks like my dad from the bottom half, and that bugs me because
Oh
my dad's a
God.
cool guy, and I
Oh
don't like
no, I don't want to
Kirk
trigger
looking like
you
he's
this
yeah.
episode. That's not good. Yeah, let's talk about the dystopian circus show. Let's get into
Yeah.
it.
All right. Tell us about it, Kirk Cameron.
Project that you're working on now, Adventures with Iggy and Mr. Kirk. And this is obviously it's kind of in line with what you've been doing, but it's different when it comes to entertainment, kids entertainment. What led you into this?
Well, it's got a great little name, doesn't it? Adventures with Iggy and Mr. Kirk. Now, I play Mr. Kirk.
Oh, I thought you played
don't
Iggy,
say.
so I'm glad you cleared that up for me.
And we've got this amazing puppeteer who worked with Jim Henson and the Muppets for decades. And Iggy is a little iguana. And he is
I just want to say, I feel like every time a puppet gets mentioned in media, it's always some guy that worked with Jim Henson.
Yeah.
Because like what is it? Industrial Light and Magic? Do they do the puppets? Right? They're like the one puppet company out there. Are there are there any other ones? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't maybe it is really cool, but I feel like it's kind of a cheap, thin thing to try to like pull a little bit of cred
No,
on.
I think it's
Dropping,
cool.
we got one of the puppet guys from Jim Henson.
Yeah, no, I'd brag about it if I knew a guy that worked with Jim Henson and did puppets and stuff. I'm just saying, like, are there any other puppet places? You know what I mean? If it's not Jim Henson, does it even matter? Does it even
You know,
count?
you or I would brag about having a puppeteer from Jim Henson, but when you're already at the star power level of Kirk Cameron, it feels a little bit anticlimactic. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like,
maybe. I don't know. You listen. You got to sell. I don't know. I could
that's
see. I
true.
could
That's
see.
true.
I wouldn't be my first line out there though. I would want to actually talk about the show and not just say, "Yeah, it's a cool show. We've got this cool puppeteer." But yeah, that is
Yeah. In fairness, it's probably a perfectly normal thing to bring up, and we're just, we're looking for opportunities to be shitty because it's Kirk
That's right.
Cameron.
That's right.
So
I'm
we've got to
just saying.
sometimes stop and admit that kind of thing.
I just think it's funny because it's like, yeah, of course this guy worked with Jim Henson. Who else is he working with? Who else is out there? Well, of course Jim Henson's not around anymore, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
so adorable. All the kids absolutely love him in the little samples that we've done so far. So this TV show for kids is an outgrowth of all of the
Just pause real quick. Does it
Oh
look
man.
really conspicuously like he's reading something above the camera?
Oh, 100. Yeah, he's got an ad read. He's got a
It's not
little
even like you have
pitch
a small
document.
teleprompter where your eyes barely move. It's like he's scanning all the way across, like it's in big letters up top. It's very
Probably.
distracting to me.
It's probably what's happening.
momentum that's been building from the children's books that Brave Books and I have been creating, going to these public libraries, contra the drag queen story hours, and reading books of Christian virtue to children, talking about things like humility and
I love that he has to say, in contrary to the drag queen hours, like he can't just do it on his own. He has to he has to counter somebody else. He can't just do a good thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's our first hint of something we're gonna see more of through this, I guess. Like, this is not just I have a cute kids show. This is like you're gonna hear the word woke. You're gonna hear, this won't be your last reference to drag queens, I suspect.
yeah, probably not.
the fruit of the spirit and loving your enemies. Well, we want to get into the screens. We want to teach children biblical moral lessons through their phones and the screen time that every parent uses at some point so that they can do the laundry, so that they can make dinner, on car rides to the soccer field or the grocery store. And even homeschooling families want children to be able to see stuff that they can trust, that will build their character and spark their curiosity while maintaining some semblance of innocence. So think of a new show that is a wildly updated version of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood with high energy, hilarious dialogue, beautiful animated biblical moral lesson stories about the sanctity of life, about the
All right, I'm positive. You take that man's name out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Kirk Cameron. Get the fuck out of here.
Wildly updated version of Mr. Rogers. By the way, hi Casey, nice to see you here. Haven't seen you around for a while.
Let me tell you something. Just because you got a puppet in your show does not mean it's as good as Mr. Rogers. Okay, calm down. Calm down. You're just getting out of the gate here. Okay.
Mr. Rogers is the GOAT, and I don't care who's in second place because it doesn't matter. Like,
yeah, it does.
Yeah. You are not going to pull out a puppet and upstage Mr. Rogers.
Yeah. No. And that's the thing. Mr. Rogers is doing everything this show wishes it could do, but better, right? Like, yeah, hey, Mr. Rogers was a Christian, but the show isn't like all about the Bible because it's actually kind of good. Like, I think more people are inspired by Mr. Rogers than, whatever this crap is going to do. But yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah. Ashley 12, Mr. Rogers don't need to be updated. I agree with that. Like,
well,
that was his whole thing that was his whole thing is like not being all flashy and everything. He like talked to kids and respected their intelligence. Let's see if Kirk Cameron does the same thing.
Yeah. Let's see.
Probably
let's see
will.
If that happens. Yeah. We'll show a little bit of this show in a bit here, but let's hear Kirk describe more of the content we should expect.
About the First and Second Amendment, and guest
Oh, yeah.
stars at every
Wait,
turn.
Let's play that back. Let's play that back just a second here.
High energy, hilarious dialogue, beautiful animated biblical moral lesson stories about the sanctity of life, about the fruit of the Spirit, about the First and Second Amendment, and guest stars at every turn.
This man, the First and Second Amendment,
the sanctity of life, the fruit of the Spirit, the Second Amendment, all the stuff you expect to hear in the very best high quality, fast paced kids entertainment.
That's so awesome. It's like an Onion article. The sanctity of life, the fucking First and Second Amendment. Oh my God. It's so funny, dude.
Wait, Dan, I smell something. Do you smell that?
What's that?
It smells like didactic trash.
Didactic
you smell it in the air.
But like Mr. Rogers was not teaching kids how to properly shoot your AR-15. Like, what the fuck is this show doing with the Second Amendment, dog? What is that episode? I want to know. What's going on, Kirk? What do you mean?
Yeah. Aliashana Silverbow. I don't remember the First or Second Amendment being in the Bible. That's a good point about this. This is all supposed to be this Christian virtue thing, and how much of what he said is just culture war nonsense.
Yeah. It's Christian nationalism, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta think he's the kind of guy that goes to a church that has an American flag up in the back. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where they think Christian values and American values are like 2 and 1 and can never be separated.
Kids, ways to human. Kids just want to learn to be constant learning.
Yeah, it's true. It's awesome. I just want to see a puppet with a flintlock pistol. Just
all that stuff is pretty bad. By the time you say Second Amendment, that just feels wildly.
It's so wild. Oh man, yeah. When I saw that part, I was like, I gotta send this to Zod. We gotta talk about this. This is amazing.
Fruit of the Spirit. That's obviously like overly instructional.
Yeah,
boring.
Didactic
trash. The Second Amendment. That has nothing to do with how you grow up with good values, even by Christian standards, even by conservative standards. That's just brainwashing kids on political talking points. It has nothing. Is a kid going to be a better student or a better citizen because they understand the right to bear arms?
Here, kids, remember you got to make sure your gun is on safety whenever you're not using it. Okay, always point down range. He's gonna pull out all the stops. be great. Yeah, I really want to see that episode.
He also brought up this is just going to be filthy with celebrity guest stars.
Oh yeah, the guest
So
stars.
I want the chat to tell us who you think is going to be guest stars. Just keep those rolling as this video progresses.
Yes.
I don't know if this is like most likely. First name that popped into my head. I'm spacing on
Oh,
his
come
name.
on, Jordan Peterson's gonna come in with his own little Kermit doll.
Kevin Sorbo was the first one that popped into my mind.
Jordan Peterson and Kermit the Frog have a pistol duel, and that's what and they have to see who's the real one.
Oh, in the
Pretty
chat,
awesome.
we already had a Kevin Sorbo. We have a
Yeah.
Dean Cain.
Ray Comfort. Ray Comfort's episode 1. Ray Comfort's very first. He's been supporting Kirk from the very beginning. I saw the way he looked at that man. Okay. That's love right there.
We have a Duck Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty. Yup.
So we could name that episode. I've been waiting to put this one in there. The Crocoduck Dynasty.
There you go. Zod was ready with that one before the show. David A.R. White. Yes. Oh my God. So true.
Are you a liar, Iggy?
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah.
If he ever wants to give Iggy a kiss on the forehead, he'll have to bring in his wife to do a stunt,
Oh no, you're right. Oh, gross. All right, let's keep watching.
Candace Cameron beer. That makes me sad, but probably, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So It's super fun, and we are in fundraising mode right now because we're not getting money from Hollywood or a big streaming platform to pay for it, because when you do, there's strings attached, and then they end up sabotaging the content and it goes woke. So we're doing a crowdfunding thing like The Chosen. Who better to put The Chosen together than the people who want to see it most? Who better to put a TV show together than moms and dads and grandparents who would trust me with the content, and we fund it. So we're asking people to go to watchbrave.com, and you can get really exciting, unique rewards like have one of your grandkids be a minor role in one of the episodes of our TV show, or be an executive producer and get 2 red carpet VIP tickets to the premiere in Nashville, Tennessee, with cool after parties where you get to come meet the cast and Iggy the Iguana and all that stuff. So those rewards come for different levels of support. We want to fund 2 seasons of the show. We begin filming in just a month. And again, people can check out how to do that at watchbrave.com.
Yeah.
There's a couple different aspects of this. First, let's run through our kids prefer sleepy content anyway.
Yeah.
We have Ted Nugget, which I believe they probably are
Ted Nugent. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're probably doing play on words. Gina Carano, Ben Stein, Jim Caviezel.
Ben Stein. Gross. Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it.
So I see a couple things happening here at this stage. Obviously, he makes a play at wokeness. That had to come up, right?
Oh,
once you mention drag queens, wokeness is coming up. But this is a pitch for people to invest. That's gross.
No, I agree. First of all, so like a cursory research on Kirk Cameron's business activities, right? So he has a website which he sells books, and I don't know if he's the co-owner of this business or if he's just like a front man or what, but it is a publisher, and obviously he has like a media publisher business as well because he's doing like this show and stuff. You don't get a show like that off the ground without some seed funding. There's no way they're just like, okay, we're just going to crowd fund all this later. So like, this is like extra money for them, right? Like they had to have I mean, maybe they did account for some of their budget to be crowd funded, which that's insane, but like I don't trust them to make sound business decisions. So, that could be part of it, but like, no, this is definitely just culture war bullshit, which is why he's like playing into it to like kind of get that extra,
is
support.
he out of growing pains money already?
I mean, he was a teenager during that, right? So, I mean, I would imagine maybe, I don't know.
But that's not the last work he did either. Like, I don't know. I don't know. There's something that feels gross about somebody at that level of celebrity, like going to like just regular households, working class people, and trying to get them to pay for this stuff.
Yeah. Like, there's a reason why they don't crowdfund Hollywood movies. One is because they need an exorbitant amount of cash, even for like HBO and TV shows and stuff too, right? But like also just like I don't know, like you make up for your stuff in profit because you make a good product and then the ratings come in and then I don't know, you get ads and stuff. So I don't even know what this is going to be. Does he talk about it later? I can't remember. Does he talk about where it's going to be published or posted? Is it on a streaming
I have a
site?
feeling it'll be a streaming thing.
Yeah. I
But
don't know how he's
okay,
going to do
so
it.
this kind of thing, it's supposed to be a ministry. Like this is supposed to be a mission to help kids. This
Allegedly.
isn't really supposed to be a heavily profit-driven thing.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, it's Kirk Cameron and a puppet. You're going to want some decent lighting and cameras and stuff like that, but it's you and some people on a set. This is basically a YouTube type. This is like a really good YouTube channel is the quality that this should be at, or that this needs to be at. I feel like this is the kind of thing where you could like start it on a somewhat basic level and then build up as you get support once you've proven the concept. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, children's book, Brave Books. Yeah. Okay, so he's just working with them. So it's the book publisher, I think, that's working with them. Yeah, they're a conservative publishing company, the best kinds of publishing companies, if you ask me.
Yeah.
That's great.
But we have a few comments going in. I don't necessarily want to scroll through them all, but basically getting at what I think is that this is a little, I don't know if a grift is exactly the right word, but at the very least, this is double dipping the way Christian media usually does. They go for donations or some kind of support based on the fact, without any regard for how entertaining it is, just that they're on a Christian mission to promote Christian values, and they raise a lot of money that way. And then they also get whatever they get, I guess, from producing the content.
Yeah. Here's from the Washington Examiner. They raised $24,000 on its first day announcing the show, and they aim to raise over 2.5 million. So maybe they are trying to get this entirely crowdsourced. That's insane.
Yeah.
24,000 on your first day and your goal is 2.5 million is not a good sign.
Rocket Boy X said he could easily film this at any large church using their equipment.
No, I mean this is going to be a real production. I mean, look, they're saying each episode is costing $125,000, which is that's pretty modest, honestly.
But if it's I'm sorry, if it's a dude and his puppet and it's all on a set, it doesn't. A church would likely donate the space anyway. You could bring in your props and stuff like that. I don't really know this needs to be that expensive. This feels very exorbitant to the point that I feel. This strikes me as one of those things where the primary people you're selling to is parents or people who are behind this whole culture war angle that you're going for. To the extent that, and maybe we could discuss this more as we see what shape this takes. I'm not even sure they're really trying to make real good entertainment. I feel like they're not trying to sell something kids actually want. They're trying to sell to parents and to people who are going to contribute to this. And I feel like this is along the lines of why certain apologetics YouTubers raise a lot of money but get almost nobody watching their stuff. Nobody's there. Nobody's there for the content, and you're not selling the content. You're selling the mission to people who are going to donate. And this smells very heavily like that.
Yeah, like if they're really wanting to get producers, they want to get writers, they want to get actors, and then of course the technology that's involved with the puppets or whatever. Of course, you got to pay people for camera work, editing, marketing. There's a lot that goes into it. A 2.5 is definitely, I mean, that if they really want to produce a serialized, like again, like a full television season, that's on the smaller side. They have to have some sort of other funding coming in. There's no way they want to do entirely crowdfunding for that. That's just so crazy. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not Kirk Cameron or Brave conservative book publishing. So yeah, the book publishing industry, quite famous for leading the charge these days. So maybe they know something I don't. But anyway,
but how much you want to guess, along with raising funds from their audience and then trying to sell this to their audience, how much do you want to bet that they're using a lot of volunteers for their labor and cutting costs that way? Like
Maybe.
this doesn't sound like the kind of project where they're like paying people market value versus
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, a lot of Hollywood stuff's like, I mean, there's unions, but I don't know how above board they're doing to make this thing. I don't even know where this thing's gonna be published. I'm very I'm wondering if they are shopping with people. Like maybe they would want to do it with like Ben Shapiro's fucking shit or something. Like maybe they don't have an idea yet, but I don't know. It's very interesting.
All right, want to keep going?
Yeah, let's keep going.
It's such an interesting project and a much needed project. I've got an 8 and an 11-year-old, and I'm constantly trying to figure out what are they going to watch. How do I, vet every single thing that's coming through my house, which I do, to make sure that it's safe. It's crazy. Like we even have, I mean, you know what this is like as a parent, but it's gotten so much worse in the last couple of years. Could you have imagined when you started getting, started working with Brave and you started doing the books that you would do a show with them? I mean, this is really, it's fascinating to me because as far as I know, you hadn't done kids content before. You've done a lot of other content, almost every other type.
I didn't expect this to turn into a TV show, but that's how some of the best things end up growing. I mean, whoever would have thought that, you see a little nut laying on the ground and this little acorn sprouts some roots and turns into a giant oak tree. But that's the way God grows things. I think he grows what he loves, and he can take little fishes and loaves of some children's books and some grumpy drag queens and turn it into a TV show that ends up teaching biblical.
Damn, he hates drag queens. Talk. What's up with that?
I've had limited exposure, but enough to get us. I don't know. I've seen drag queens. I've shown up at a thing where you like stand there and try to like just be a presence so that people don't harass them or whatever. When there was a drag queen thing in town here, I have not seen a lot of grumpy drag queens.
Yeah.
Like, does that strike you as generally a grumpy group of people?
No, you know what? You got a good point. Probably the least grumpiest people.
Yeah.
Out there in general.
I might even say they're just downright jovial.
Yeah.
What's this grumpy?
It's kind of part of the performance, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not that Kirk Cameron would know anything about fucking drag, but kind of weird that he brings that up again. I wonder if there's going to be drag queen jokes in this show or something, or if there's going to be a drag queen villain character. I can only imagine.
I don't think he's at all interested in understanding what drag queens are like or anything like that. It just tells me their position in the villains in his narrative of taking up space in a library and brainwashing kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Just fuck you. Like that promotes so many damaging stereotypes and instant knee-jerk reactions in his audience toward anybody in drag, and of course it's going to translate over into transgender people, even though that's not really the same thing.
Yeah. Also, like, making good television for kids is like legitimately hard. Like Fred Rogers went to grad school for childhood development, right? I'm pretty sure. And he had like writers and stuff that like actually worked in education. They were like very purposeful in the way they structured that show, and obviously other stuff that like PBS does, right? So like I don't think it's as simple as people make it out to be. Making a children's book, I mean, that's one thing, but making a TV show, like, that's just a whole other game. I don't know.
Along with being highly qualified, he poured his heart into that. Like, he was very deliberate about the choices he made to make sure that kids felt heard and to speak to them in a respectful, direct way.
I don't
think this clown's up for that.
I don't know if Kirk's the man for the job. I'm not sure if he's the one. I don't think God's using that acorn in the way that he thinks he is. But hey,
Leah Shauna Silverbow, who would have thought a tree seed on the ground would grow into a tree? Shock of shocks.
Yeah. Crazy. Thank you for the $5.
Yeah, thank you. According to my old pastor, it's literally a miracle and proof of God. But
oh yeah, well, I'm sure Kirk feels the same way. Let's get going.
So
moral value.
Hang on, before we go on.
Yeah.
They've really hyped up. This show is something the world really needs. Mm-hmm. He's going to upscale Mr. Rogers. This is going to revolutionize, the wokes in Hollywood.
There's a demographic for this that we can bank off of. Yeah. That's what
and the guy interviewing him, he's obviously softballing him and, as the kids say, glazing him up. That's the right way to say it. I
It's
just
like
say that to
is
watch
this
the
the second
reaction.
time you said glazing? You said it last week.
You're the first person I heard it from. I just say it back to you to get a reaction. That's all. That's the only reason I say that.
Oh no.
But they're acting like there's a dearth of like Christian entertainment or, you know, any kind of wholesome entertainment. And I don't know, this is such a tired old routine. And they're saying this
Yeah,
as
like
if it's
dog.
brand new. And this is the
Paw,
first Christian kids show that's ever going to be made.
Paw Patrol makes enough money for like a third world country. You know, like Bluey, that shit's popping off. There's all kinds of children's shows that are like, as far as I know, decently wholesome. The worst thing I know about Paw Patrol is that they, you know, they're not a cab. They have a police dog. I think that's the only that's like the only negative thing I know about Paw Patrol. So I don't know. I guess conservative Christian media, yeah, maybe there's a dearth, maybe a dearth of good stuff these
But
days.
yeah, as revolutionary as Kirk said this was, I think we should pause the video here and actually see a little glimpse of what he and his puppet friend look like. Should we do that?
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's switch gears real quick and just show off that what we're talking about here.
All right. Because prepare to have your minds blown. Because according to Kirk, this is like he's gonna level up Mr. Rogers.
Good stuff.
Welcome to the set of our brand new children's show, Adventures with Iggy and Mr. Kirk. Iggy, I was just telling our friends here about our new show.
Hey there, fellow explorers. I can't tell you about it because it's top secret.
I think we can give them a little sneak peek. What do you say, Iggy?
I say we're building a treehouse, explorers. I'm Iggy. I'm an iguana.
And I'm Mr. Kirk.
He's a human.
And with your help, this is where our adventures will begin.
Freedom Island.
Hang on.
Freedom Island, dog.
Yeah.
It's so good. Look at that.
Freedom Island. We have Utopia Island. Doomsdome.
Yeah. That's where MF Doom hangs out. It sounds pretty sick. Yeah. This is very good. World building.
Huh.
It's a very complicated island.
Yeah. I feel like this is mostly allusions to right-wing talking points of some kind or the other.
Hold on, that says Cabal Island? What? Excuse me? What is that?
Cabal. Oh my gosh, that is Cabal Island.
It says Cabal. What the fuck? I did not look at this very closely. What's happening here?
I was going to bet you money that Utopia Island is like where there's a communist experiment that fails.
Oh, I was going to try to get a little more detail here. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. That says Cabal Island. What the fuck's up with that? Bro, what's this Skyrim ass map? I'm the more I'm looking at it, the more puzzled I am. One of you guys needs to make a D&D campaign based off this map. I think that'd be pretty cool.
yeah.
Give us you tell us the lore of this place. Wiggamore Woods.
This is an extremely biodiverse island.
It is.
Like as you travel from west to east, if it's oriented that way, you suddenly like hit a hard line where it's Arctic.
Yeah,
weather.
you've got volcanoes and ice continents like in the same landmass. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
let's see more of what this show has to offer.
Very, very cool.
Iggy and Mr. Kirk. Iggy and Mr. Kirk. Spend all day in the treehouse playing Iggy and Mr. Kirk. Going on one more adventure, Iggy and Mr. Kirk.
And action.
Don't let me hold you back, Mr. Kirk. You still have your whole life ahead of you.
Did that look vaguely disturbing?
No, this is like a worse version of Zaboomafoo. That's what I'm thinking right now. You remember that Zaboomafoo with the Kraft Brothers? Maybe you probably don't, because that's like children's television I grew up with, and you probably didn't give a shit at that point in time. But
what an uninspiring theme song! Yeah, Mr. Kirk. Yeah, Mr. Kirk.
It is not great. I feel like if you're doing a children's TV show, like the theme song is very important. You got to have a good catchy one, and that's not hidden. So
if I gave money to a crowdfund and that's what they came up with for the song, I'd be like,
Someone
I
said,
think
"Don't
Iggy
talk."
has inappropriate feelings.
Listen, I'm not talking shit about Zaboomafoo. I love Zaboomafoo. I'll ride or die for Zaboomafoo. Okay, I'm all about it. No disrespect from me. No, sir. I'm saying that they don't. You're right though. This doesn't. Maybe even by making the comparison, I'm derailing the legacy of Zaboomafoo. So sorry, I won't do that. Um, it, I'm just curious. Sorry, I'm gonna keep talking here because, like,
No, go ahead.
again, they obviously did at least a pilot. That makes sense, right?
Mhm.
Doing a pilot for a pitch or whatever. Looks like they got a set. They got the
Yeah.
puppet. I mean, they got shit. Like, what do they need? Or do they not already have a planned budget? Like, what's the deal? What if they don't make their goal? Does that mean that they don't make the show? That's what makes this kind of suspicious. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I'm
Yeah.
not really sure what they need to raise all this money for at this point.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said about the quality of this, and maybe we can say that as this goes on. But what this feels like a little bit to me is the Elmoization of Mr. Rogers. Like
the Elmoization.
Like where you make everything really hyper and overly child focused to the point that it's a little bit pandering.
Yes.
Like you just like this totally strips Mr. Rogers of all of its charm and all of its originality and of any real connection to kids and just make it hyper bouncy. Boing, 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 boing. I know this is like a preview reel, but this doesn't feel right with me.
I agree. Kirk is not Steve from Blue's Clues either. I don't think kids want to come up to him and hang out with him. He just kind of seems like a guy. No offense.
Yeah.
Just a guy. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
This looks like a dude from a random local Baptist church trying really too hard to be a kids host type character.
I agree. Yeah.
There's a certain it factor, and he does not have that it factor for kids shows.
Yeah.
Action.
Iggy, what's the matter? That squirrel named Carlos keeps popping up in this window and giving me the stink eye.
The stink eye?
Yeah, like this.
If the wind is strong enough, it'll knock this little house right off the tree. Kablam!
Kablam!
Oh, yeah!
Wow.
I'm doomed!
I can really see that. I can really see that Jim Henson, that Jim Henson influence on these puppets right now. They're really dynamic, really engaging. It's very good. When he did the stink eye, I'm pretty sure I saw that move from the Dark Crystal or whatever. That's great.
Not just any random person could stick their hand up that puppet's ass.
No,
and make magic.
no.
I'll tell you that.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Action.
Sometimes it can be scary when we get hurt, but in the Bible, God promises to care for
Indiana
us
Jones?
and to always be with
He
us,
does kinda have
so
an
we
Indiana
have no
Jones
reason
vibe.
to fear.
Does it really say that? Even for a tiny lizard like me?
So go on one more adventure with Iggy and Mr. Kirk.
Thanks for watching and for all your support to help Adventures with Iggy.
I just realized that theme song kind of has a Frosty the Snowman kind of hit to it.
Really?
A little bit.
No, that's Here Comes Santa Claus.
Oh, you're right. Here Comes Santa Claus. You're right. Okay.
You're right. That is Here Comes Santa Claus.
Yeah. Yeah, it is Here Comes Santa Claus. Yeah. Just a little bit. So don't know how I feel about that.
This is the Vanilla Ice. This is the Vanilla Ice to Here Comes Santa Claus.
That'd be awesome. That song's probably like public domain though.
Yeah,
but
probably.
that'd be pretty awesome. Now you just made me think of Vanilla Ice being a guest star on the show, which would be really cool.
Yeah,
I would love to see that episode.
and Mr. Kirk become a reality. We are so excited for families to learn and grow together with this show.
Good night, Iggy.
Good night, Mr. Kirk.
I don't like that.
May the Lord bless you and protect you, and make his face to shine upon you
he's doing the
and be gracious to you, and give you peace.
Oh my god, I
Good
didn't
night.
realize. I didn't realize the first time I watched this he's doing the Mr. Rogers thing where he's putting the coat on before he leaves and stuff. Ugh, gross.
it sucks.
Gross. I don't like this little lizard. The problem is this little lizard guy has like man intelligence. You know what I mean? Like it seems kind of adultish. Like Elmo is supposed to be like a 3-year-old kid, you know? So he acts
Yeah.
like a 3-year-old kid. This is like a just a stupid guy. Like it's not quite the same level here, I feel like.
Yeah.
But
You are not my step Mr. Rogers. You don't try don't try to be my step
you're
Mr.
not my
Rogers.
stepmistress. That's awesome. I'd love to see a custody battle with him him and Mr. Rogers over this lizard. That'd be
Oh,
a
I know
good
which
show.
way the courts would rule.
I want to see divorce court with Kirk Cameron and Mr. Rogers, and they got to decide over this little lizard
Also,
guy.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be like really gross about it, but he's like, that's not his child.
No,
He's modeling a weird level of touchy-feeliness.
yeah,
That
it's a little
I don't
grooming.
know.
A
Yeah,
little bit of grooming.
Considering how much they talk about grooming and drag queens and stuff like that, corrupting kids, like, I don't know. I don't think it's like really gross. It's just meant to be affectionate, but a lot of these things, they're supposed to be like modeling safe boundaries for kids and stuff. And I don't
Right.
think it's really good to show somebody who's essentially like your teacher or mentor putting your hands all over you. I think that's just
No.
like a little bit of a bad idea.
There's a time and a place for a hug, and then there's like tucking somebody into bed. You know, it's kind of different.
Yeah.
But we'll just wrap this up here. A little pan out shot, I think. Yep. Adventures with Iggy and Mr. Kirk. Wow.
That looks exactly like Vacation Bible School.
It does. That is a VBS ass graphic design is my passion ass logo right there. 100%. I agree.
But this is so in light of what they said about how they're going to, number one, I'm not going to let go of the fact they said they're going to like elevate what Mr. Rogers did.
Mhm.
That's unforgivable.
We're not getting over that. We're not getting
No.
over the Mr. Rogers comparison.
You are not my step Mr. Rogers.
It's just bold. It's a very bold thing
Yeah.
to say.
But like they're acting like there's been no good children's entertainment up to this point that's like wholesome and Christian or whatever. And they're acting like this is something new that's bringing it up to a whole other level. What they showed there is just really basic shit. That's either that looks literally, aside from the graphics, that looks like Vacation Bible School level,
yeah.
or it looks like just the typical thing through the 80s, or well, maybe not 80s, but at least through the 90s that you would have like that cheap ass stuff that parents would pop into the VHS for their kids so they could like have something Christian to watch. It's that basic pandering, low quality, low effort garbage we've seen a million times. And the fact that they're promoting that as the big new Christian thing that we need to counter Hollywood entertainment, it's not even pandering to kids. I almost wonder if they think kids are going to give a shit about that, like how much they buy into their own hype or how much this is meant to be a sales pitch to parents.
I don't know because like you know, real people who actually work in this industry, right? I imagine I don't work in it, but from what I see on the outside, they give a lot of great respect to other people who make content and stuff, right? And like, you know, yeah, you want to sell yourself, you want to like be different and stuff. But like he starts this whole pitch with just trashing other shows and like trashing other people's way of doing it. So everything else sucks and this is going to be awesome. And that's why like the hubris just kind of surprises me because it's like, have you seen like Bear in the Big Blue House came out like 20 years ago and that shit is I'd watch that any day of the week rather than whatever the hell this is. Actually, that's well, I mean, I'm going to watch at least an episode if this comes out. I'll pirate this shit or do whatever I can. Sorry, I mean, I'll find ways to legally watch this show when it comes out. If I just want to see the Second Amendment episode, what's Iggy gonna do? Iggy's gonna find a gun, and Kirk's gonna be like, "Let me show you. Let's go to the gun store and get a magazine, Iggy. I'll show you proper firearm safety."
He'll come home and talk about how someone shot up his school, and Kirk will say, "If only the teachers had had a."
Dude, it was just a shooting. It was just a shooting, dude. I was thinking too,
yeah.
I was like, I haven't heard of a shooting happening in a while. And then I realized, oh yeah, because it was summer, like school was out. And then
I don't mean to make light of it, but this is
know.
it really is sickening how they'll take every opportunity to ignore the real problem and make a cheap Second Amendment thing out of it. I don't know.
I will download the car, folks. Absolutely. I will absolutely download the car. I'll put it that way. But yeah, no, that's all I care about from this show is show me the Second Amendment episode.
Sorry, blurting that out was insensitive at any point, especially now. But I just find it extremely distasteful the way they turn that kind of stuff into a I don't know, and some kind of pro-gun talking point when that's the last thing we need. And Kirk didn't go that whole direction, but like, what are you going to be talking about involving the Second Amendment? It's
I
going to
don't
be
know.
something tasteless and gross and counterproductive.
I can't imagine, but I want to see it with all my heart. Oh, I really do. There's nothing more that I want to see than Kirk Cameron making a children's television episode with a puppet about the Second Amendment rights.
I feel like it's just almost insulting to all the parents out there that they're pitching this to, or all the potential investors, that he's hyping this as the next big thing, and we're going to come save society from the wokes and keep our kids steered toward the right direction. And he shows up with just really average pandering bullshit with just him and a puppet. Like, it's, I don't know.
Yeah,
it just bugs me.
It's weird and
The
it's
laziness
bullshit.
of it.
We have a $99 sorry, $99, 99 cents. A message from Poor Claire, super sticker. Poor Claire, who is, although poor, has decided to give us money. So thank you for that, Poor Claire.
Now she's really poor.
You're rich in our eyes, you know? So if I wish I could do nicknames. I wish like you know how like on Reddit, you know, you can do like little flares and stuff, and like moderators can give you flares. I wish I could give the people that donate different little nicknames. That'd be kind of cool. But don't think that's the thing on YouTube. We'll call it Rich Claire is your new nickname, Poor Claire.
There you go.
So
thank you very much for that.
Yes,
I've never seen a super sticker. Is that something different compared to a
I
super
don't know.
chat?
I was looking at that too. I was like, is the message super sticker, or is that just a thing that we don't know how to properly utilize?
Yeah.
But anyway, we do appreciate that. Do you want to go back to that Kirk Cameron interview?
Yeah, let's watch the rest of that interview.
Okay, let's do that.
You got me on that one. You know, it's interesting too, because you've spent obviously a while now traveling around, as you were saying, to these libraries, and we've talked about this in the past. But what have you learned most about not just these issues, but the people in this country who have shown up, you know, consistently to hear from you? What have you learned on that journey of going around and just doing what you've been doing with these books?
Well, I'm getting messages from people that friends of mine who are all about the work of bringing transformation to culture. And they're saying it appears that people are finally waking up. And I resonate with that as I go to churches and schools and libraries. People are waking up and realizing that the dystopian circus show is here. And the ringmasters like it. And if we just keep drinking the Kool-Aid and eating the cotton candy and stay entertained by all this crazy stuff, it's just going to get worse. And so we
Shiver said, I'm getting messages from no, you're not. Yeah. He just basically pulled a Trump. Everybody's saying.
He's like, listen, all the people on my Facebook group, okay, are telling me all kinds of, I don't know, man. Yeah. Maybe they're a little biased to that. I like the idea that, again, like, you know, he's selling just anti-woke rhetoric. That's it. That's all he's doing in this little interview. Instead of talking about, hey, what are the merits of the show? Like, what are some issues you want to explore? It's just like, no, I hate the wokes and all of their television. Here, go watch mine instead. It's a classic right-wing grift. You
know? These complaints are old as time. This is like Christian parents of every generation are complaining about entertainment these days and wanting an alternative, and this woke thing or politically correct thing, whatever they call it in any particular generation. It's like getting tired and played out. And here he is acting like people are just like coming up with it for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not great.
You want to try to pronounce that name and read that comment?
Simatist, who gave $5 Canadian. Thank you so much for that. Saying nothing like using fear to sell children's television. Yeah. Again, like if I'm a parent And I'm like, okay, why should I let my kid watch this? And I'm just hearing Kirk going on about how everything else sucks. I'll just be like, no, I don't think so. That's the thing, right? If you're a parent and you're watching Fox News, you're probably letting your kid watch Bluey, like 9 times out of 10. Yeah, there's the homeschoolers out there, sure. But like, is that really the exact target demo you want to go for with this thing? I mean, don't you want to like expand a little bit to the mainstream, like maybe not talk about how this other stuff's garbage, because then it kind of makes you look a little foolish, huh? I
And
don't know.
if you're worried about wholesomeness and everything too, are you really wanting to align yourself with like anti-woke and
Mhm.
thinly veiled Trumpism and stuff? Like you literally have Trump in a church getting kids to swear. Like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the game
We
plan is
need
here.
to actually like leave the circus, and we need to start getting back to the work of transforming culture and creating the reality that we want for our kids. So this is a chance for everyday people who say, "What can I do? I'm not a big influencer. I don't have a podcast. I'm not, a celebrity." Well, that's true, but you're a mom and you're a dad, maybe if you're a parent, or maybe you're whatever it is that God has given you to do. Do it with all of your heart. Do it to honor God. Trust Him with the results. And if you want to be a part of a television show that reaches lots of people, here's your chance to join me and help us put it together. Be the executive producer of your.
This is just a long-winded way of saying, like, no matter who you are, you can give us some money.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I've done my fair share of fundraising stuff, right? But like, I don't know. What you know what it is when you get it, right? I mean, this is a for-profit enterprise. Okay, that's the difference. This is not for a non-profit. I don't think this is not for a ministry. This is for a conservative publishing company, which is by all accounts a for-profit business. So you're just helping a corporation, be it maybe a smaller one than other publishing houses, I'm sure, but like you're still just helping them make money. That's what you're doing. So I guess be proud of that. I don't know.
They're trying to make money from every stage of this. They're
Yeah.
selling experiences, basically. They're
Mm.
selling parents on a cause, but then they're also selling the experience of, like, I don't know, walking the red carpet in Tennessee. I guess that's what people want to do, or being on the show. I don't know.
Or just say
Your
that
own
you help the
grandchildren and
anti-woke
great
cause.
grandchildren's entertainment by helping us make Adventures with Iggy and Mr. Kirk. Just go to watchbrave.com and find one of the rewards that you would like to have, and then support us at that level and join in. We can all do it together.
I love that. I love bringing in people from the community. I mean, this is what The Chosen has done really well, and it's what you guys are doing really well here, which is to say, hey, we want you to be a part of this. For so long, Hollywood has sort of talked at people, right?
Yes.
And they've shifted culture because of it. They've been able to shift culture very successfully. And
yeah, don't leave it up to other people. Look, we've become conservatives have become professional whiners. Why don't we become professional winners? I mean, we're the ones who have been commissioned to create the culture, not retreat from the culture. And I think that's where people have gotten into this mindset. And I hear it all the time, even from prominent pastors, that, hey, guys, it's only going to get worse. The ship of culture is sinking. The only hope we could possibly have is to get our kids and grandkids into the lifeboat before the whole thing goes down and gurgles down the drain. And I say, no, that's absolutely not wrong. I mean, if our founding fathers had said that 250 years ago or 400 years ago, when the Pilgrims got here, where would we be? No, they had a vision of victory. They had a.
That's literally what the Pilgrims did.
Yeah, buddy.
The Pilgrims didn't like the culture in England, and so they bailed out and tried to go get their kids in a lifeboat. That didn't make any sense.
Listen, dude, you're making a children's television show. You're not founding a fucking country, okay? Calm the fuck down, Kirk. It is not that serious, okay? Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Again, it's just all ideological bullshit. But while he was talking here, Zod, I did find the fundraising page for this. I think you've probably seen this too. They've raised over $100,000 for this. So sorry, over $1 million.
That's a lot.
I think. Wait, is that true? Did I see that right? Yeah, 1,104,000 of 1,250,000. So they're almost at their goal. at this point. I think the number I saw was like early on. So I guess they've raised a lot more money than I would think. So that's kind of interesting.
Good for them.
But look at these reward tiers. They got $25, $100, $250. Then there's a $500, $1,000, and then a $2,500. That's that red carpet tour, baby. You get to see the premiere in Nashville. So really cool. Awesome.
Aliashana Silverbow thank you for the $2 super chat. Kirk Cameron, you're not me, so give me money.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. All right, let's keep going.
500-year plan, and they laid down a constitution and did some things like applied the word of God to the institutions, to their culture, to their family, their church, and their government. And now we've got a podcast called, what's our podcast called? Faithwire? Yeah, baby.
Yes. Yep.
Here we are.
Yep.
And now we're talking to people, and we have far more.
There's nothing that says old man trying too hard, like forgetting the name of your own podcast, putting on glasses so you can read it, and then going, hey, baby. Sorry, go ahead.
Listen, I've been podcasting for over 6 years now. I fucking hate other podcasters. I realize as being a podcaster, I'm part of the problem, but there's nothing worse than a guy who just makes a podcast for his corporation to promote products. It's like there's so much of the podcast ecosystem now. It's ridiculous, but it is what it is. I don't know. That's the world we live in.
So we still have a lot of this left.
Yeah.
I feel like we might have gotten through the bulk of what they have to say about this show and most of the funny comments.
Probably.
Did you have anything else you wanted to cover with this last half hour that we still have left?
I mean, I found that weird page about Kirk Cameron's history about becoming a Christian. You want me to talk about that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, cool. So
yeah, basically, I think this is just really straightforwardly. People have called it everything from a scam to a money laundering attempt or whatever. I feel like this is really just selling hard though to parents or whoever they want to get behind the cause with this like whole woke anti counterculture thing or whatever. I don't know. But
yeah, I mean, I imagine you have to have projections for goals and stuff, right? When you're talking about a project this big, there's just no way unless they've done successful crowdfunding before that I'm not aware of, but having a project like that is pretty ambitious, and there's no way all their money is coming from crowdfunding. I guess that's fine, but again, it's a for-profit business. It even says right here on their fundraising, they are not a nonprofit. It's a for-profit thing. So do with that as you will. There's been a lot of great crowdfunded projects. There's also a lot of garbage. So I don't know. You can probably tell what I think about it just based on.
Well, and it's a chintzy puppet show where he gives little lessons, and this isn't gonna like revolutionize the culture or anything like this. Kids are gonna see it as one more boring thing that their parents make them watch instead of something cool. And
I got a great idea. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, it's not, I don't know. He's like way too high on his own supply. Like, you're not going to change the world with this, or maybe he's not. Maybe he's just trying to sell everybody on the fact that it's going to be this world changing thing. But it's kind of gross and disturbing how he says, like, he acts like the culture belongs to them.
All right, guys.
And, yeah.
Hey,
go ahead.
So I have a new funding project I'd like you guys to get on. It's Mr. Dan and Bingo. Say hello, Bingo. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. What's going on, Bingo? It's doing great. We need all your money, please. Please give it all. No, Bingo, come on. We got to talk about what's the show about, Bingo? It's about making money. It's all about the dollar bills, y'all. Cash rules everything around me. Bingo, Jesus, come on. We gotta run something here. Anyway, come fund our show. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be really cool. Anyway, that's my new side
I actually have here.
Oh shit. Oh god. Oh no. We're pulling out the puppets, y'all. It's happening. Oh no. Oh no.
Featured on Prophet of Zod, we have Baggy.
Oh yeah.
Baggy? everybody, I'm Baggy.
What's going on, Maggie? You all about that cold hard cash? I know I am.
I went to the library and there was a grumpy drag queen. It made me so sad.
Yeah, bro, that's terrible.
If you see
Oh, what is this voice I'm
say something.
Oh my god. It's terrible. Baggy and Bingo. Dude.
Baggy and Bingo.
Baggy and Bingo. That's our new side. That's the new side project.
We are gonna crowdfund the fuck out of
guys. Please give
Baggy
us all
and Bingo.
Please give us all of your money for Baggy and Bingo, the two puppets that complain about drag queens at the library and not having enough money.
It's literally guys glued to the bag, and the other one's literally the first talk that Dan.
Oh man, that's awesome. We should do a whole show with just puppets. That'd be great. I think I'd enjoy that. All right. Anyway,
I think it would cost us about $100,000.
Oh yeah, we need about $100,000 an episode.
Guys.
You know, there's taxes.
Sticking a bag on your hands doesn't come cheap.
It doesn't come cheap. There's unions, you know. Baggy's in a union, and we gotta pay those union, wages because we're pro union on this show. Anyway, all right, okay. Let's talk about Kirk Cameron's life. So first of all, let me pull up his. I want to go to his Wikipedia first, just real quick, because I think Kirk Cameron. When I was trying to find some dirt on this man, and I say dirt, I mean what's publicly available on the internet. This reads like a Wikipedia article that definitely either he wrote or his agency wrote or something. Because it's just got one of those vibes. Let's see. Let me show you what I mean here. Okay. He first gained his fame as a teen actor. Wait, let's go back here. 2010s present. He's got a whole thing here on conversion to Christianity. Wait, where's the thing I was going to look at? Never mind. Actually, I'm not prepared for this part. Let's go to this other part here. Maybe I'll look at this later.
Or are you talking about that page from the Wayback Machine?
Well, I have that up. Yeah. I wanted to show there's a line or two in the Wikipedia, but I don't want to read his whole Wikipedia here. I want to make this interesting. Let's go back to here we go. So I found this page, Wayback Machine page. This is was from the Christianity Times in 2003. I love this article. I think it's worth reading, at least parts of it here. We got the rebirth of Kirk Cameron. Let me zoom in on that.
Hey, Dan.
See. Oh no.
Tell me more about the rebirth of Kirk Cameron.
All right, Baggy. Let's talk about Kirk Cameron's career here. So let's see. So okay, his adolescence. Okay, well, first of all, this is by Dan Elward. The not the subtitle, the byline, right, is he was a teen superstar who gave his life to Christ. Then the growing pains really started. Great. Good stuff. His adolescence was nothing like yours, unless your name happens to be Scott Baio or Justin Timberlake. Great. 2003 writing. On point. Off to a great start. At the age of 14, Kirk Cameron was receiving 10,000 letters a month while starring as Mike Seaver on the hit sitcom Growing Pains, which ran on ABC from 1985 to 92. For children of the 80s, Mike was the coolest kid on television. Citation fucking needed, please. Holy shit. Kirk Cameron, coolest kid on television?
Dan?
Yeah?
I want to be the coolest kid on television.
Well, you know what, Baggy? Hollywood is full of snakes and broken dreams, so don't even get started, okay?
And you know what else, Baggy?
Yeah.
You know what else, Baggy? What? All those mean woke people won't let them crowdfund us. They're trying to cancel us.
If we have haters on, this is perfect bait for them. I'm sorry, we look like crazy people. We are not doing ourselves any fucking favors right now. So just FYI on that front. Not that I give a shit, but
Do you think Baggy should take a nap?
You can bring back Baggy whenever you want. We gotta do it one day. We'll do a real Baggy and Bingo segment. That'll be pretty good. I think. Um, so yeah, and 10,000 letters a month is a lot. I could see him getting 1,000 a month. I mean, people writing a lot more letters in the 80s,
No,
right?
look at that picture. That's a 10,000 letter a month face.
Yeah, 10,000 a month though. I mean, maybe he got 1 month where he got close to 10,000. There's no way between 85 and 92 he was getting 10,000 a month. That's just kind of crazy. I don't believe that. But yeah, and also coolest kid on television. I don't think so. I'm trying to think of like cooler kids on
Bart
television.
Simpson.
Bart Simpson's a good one. I was trying to think of real people, but Bart Simpson's definitely up there. I'm thinking of movies. I was gonna say Back to the Future, but like, yeah, Marty McFly is a movie. So like, what's good TV? TV with kids. I don't know. All the good TV shows I know from the 80s don't have kids in it. So probably says something. Anyway, back to this tab here. Okay, yeah. So for children in the 80s, America was the coolest kid on television. Reagan era children like myself were too young to appreciate the Fonz, but we dreamed of having the brown leather coat, the hip parents, and the well-timed wisecracks of Mike Seaver. Okay, man. I hope you grew up okay. I guess not, because you're writing for fucking Christian Times or whatever in 03. But hey, more power to you. Whatever makes you happy. Cameron was making $50,000 a week, but had $50,000 a week, but had to deal with such things as lovesick teeny boppers and kidnapping threats. Quote, Kirk had a couple of ardent fans who kind of went over the top stalkers. In fact, and that frightened all of us to some degree, says his co-star and TV dad, Alan Thicke. $50,000 a week, Zod, for that. That's a lot for a kid. That's insane.
Oh, easy answer.
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox, Alex Keaton.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think he's in the ballpark.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Michael J. Fox is probably the closest you can get to it. But that's what I was saying. But I was already saying like Marty McFly, which is Michael J. Fox.
Okay.
But that's like a movie. I was trying to think of TV shows. I guess he was in Family Ties.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Family Ties.
Yeah, okay. But wait, was Family Ties in the 80s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude.
I don't know, dude.
Keep reading the article. Just shut up and read the article.
Anyway, in 1986, the kid with the ear-to-ear grin described his life to 16 magazine. I'm just going to have to get used to the uncomfortable parts, like not having a lot of privacy. Interviewers want to know if instant stardom is overwhelming, and I answer no, it isn't. It is a lot, but I can handle it. This optimistic attitude didn't stop fellow TV star Michael J. Fox from giving Cameron a tip. Don't let this stuff go to your head. Don't think you're better than anyone else. Did it work?
Okay.
No.
Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox is his fellow TV star the way Mr. Rogers is his fellow kids show host. Like,
yeah,
totally different levels. Come on.
That's true. You're right about that. Yeah, you're right about that. Okay, yeah, Family Ties 82 to 89. For some reason, I thought that show started in the 70s. But
no,
that makes sense. Okay.
It was all about a Reagan era kid and his hippie parents.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know why I thought that. I never really watched that show. I just know about it from pop culture.
Because you weren't born.
No, but sue me. What are we gonna do about it? Don't make me bring out fucking bingo. Okay, let's play nice here. Did it work? 10 years later, ten years after Growing Pains left the air, Kirk Cameron, his boyish good looks still intact, albeit a tad rougher. This is the most. Yeah, I gotta mention this. This is the most fucking. This dude is. I don't know. This is a crazy article. If someone wrote this and described me this way, I would be uncomfortable. I'll put it to you that way. I don't like.
I would be as uncomfortable as Iggy in a room with Kirk Cameron.
Yeah, you talking about glazing? This is glazing right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is glazing for sure. Yeah, Iggy. Yeah, it's a good metaphor.
I wanted to say it, but I already used my glazing ticket for the day.
That's right. You only get the one. You only get the one. Albeit a tad rougher, contemplates that thought while sitting at a booth in IHOP, picking out a ham and cheese omelet. That's a hard question, he sighs. Even the most arrogant of people would say, well, of course I haven't let it get to my head, so you probably ought to ask someone else to get an objective opinion. but I think it was good advice and necessary because it's very easy to let things go to your head. If you give a kid candy for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, of course he's going to have a warped sense of who runs the world. Okay. I don't know what
Ooh,
that
I want
is.
to read that there is no God part. I am
Okay,
like,
all right, okay, cool. Cameron 32 says he viewed the world as though he were the center of it and began expecting things to be done for him because they were. Anything I wanted was given to me. That was what I expected because that was my reality. Yeah, this next part, this is where we get to the good stuff here. You ready? You wanna crank that next article out using your mouth. I don't know why I said crank that. Doesn't
crank
sound
it
very
out
good.
using your mouth.
I'm thinking about like, I said crank that because like I was thinking about the crank your hog meme thing, but then I thought of crank that like Soldier Boy. So I don't know where I was going with that. My brain was just having an ADHD moment. Go
Okay.
ahead, Zach. Go ahead.
People presumed Kirk Cameron to be the happiest guy on the planet. He
Mhm.
was driving around in sports cars. He flew to exotic countries for vacations. He was offered lead roles in movies without having to audition. Oh, bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure all the studios couldn't wait to get their hands on their Kirk Cameron.
Right.
While all his dreams were coming true, Cameron likens that time. That's weird. In his life, to biting into a chocolate bunny on Easter and realizing that it's hollow.
Which is that's such an awesome metaphor that only a Christian could use. I
I
feel
guess
like.
so.
Uh,
There was this aching, empty feeling that left me very disillusioned with the business I was working in, he says. What else was there? What else did I have to shoot for? I basically reached the top of the ladder, and I was 18.
yeah.
Then I
Yeah.
realized you could be a better Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Like, okay, man, if you thought Growing Pains was peak television, that's cool, I guess. I don't know. I would say we've had a couple other things since then, but I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. He's talking about when he was a teenager, right? Which, yeah, sure. That's understandable.
Yeah. Maybe get a new ladder if you're at the top of that one.
Yeah, that's true.
He sat on the set of Growing Pains contemplating what life was all about. A far cry from the superficial character he played on the show. Cameron was a thinker.
Yeah.
All right.
This
All
is
right,
great.
Crocoduck.
This is an awesome.
All right, Crocoduck. You're a real thinker there, buddy.
I know. Like, who did he pay to get this article written about him? This is like I don't know. This is like the president of his fan club writing this, not the esteemed Christian Times piece that I would think it would be. But anyway,
Only the world's greatest mind could
right?
recognize that if evolution were true, you'd have a crocodile's head on top of a chicken or a
That's
duck.
what I'm saying. I'm always saying this.
Anyway. It was difficult to discuss things with people because they knew me on a celebrity level, he says. We suffer that here with Zanda too.
Yep.
You couldn't really get into conversations like that. As a teenager, I wasn't comfortable talking to my parents about it and didn't have any true friends that I could really sit down and talk with.
Yeah.
Although
That's
he had
sad.
only been to church once or twice in his life, the young man had seen hypocrisy and self-righteousness among those who believed in God. So much so that Cameron began to consider himself a devout atheist.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you think you consider yourself a devout atheist, you don't even know what an atheist is, much less have you ever been one.
Yeah. Really.
Dude, eat shit. That's so.
I know. But read the next part. Read the next paragraph.
As far as I was concerned, thinking people didn't believe in fairy tales, he remembers telling himself. When asked in interviews about God, the teenager would respond, "There's no God. You can't prove there's a God. Absolutely not. You guys are performing your own lobotomy in order to believe this kind of stuff."
Yeah. How the turntables. Am I right? How the turntables.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'll get this next part here. Ready? Change of heart. An actor on the set invited the teen star to his church in Fullerton, California, where well-known preacher and author Chuck Swindoll was then pastor. Although he was hesitant, Cameron agreed to go. It was there that he heard a message about God's holiness, about judgment against sin, and the concepts of grace, mercy, and the cross. I left the church with my head filled with questions, says the actor. I felt guilty when he talked about sin, that's kind of on purpose. That's kind of the point, you know. One day, after dropping off his friend at acting class, Cameron pulled his sports car to the side of Van Nuys Boulevard in Studio City. The thought occurred to him that if he were to die in a car crash that day, he wouldn't go to heaven. This is too important. I don't want to be wrong about all this, he thought. I prayed the clumsiest prayer that's probably ever been prayed. I closed my eyes because I thought that's what you were supposed to do when you pray. I said, God, if you are there, please show me. If you are real, I need to know. Now, I think this is interesting because this is an admission of I'm afraid of my mortality and I'm afraid of the end of my conscious existence. So I'm going to pray that God show me that he's real so that I can like ease this anxiety, right? Like that's it's not I came to an earnest conclusion based on reasoning and evidence or whatever that God was real, and so naturally I just believed. It was, oh, I was afraid of the consequences of my actions, so I prayed and tried to make God a thing, basically, which I think is, I don't know, says something, right?
Also, there's a lot in the details of this story.
Mm-hmm.
Like he said, he has number one for having like been non-religious and then tried church once or twice. He has a lot of these thoughts about heaven and hell and guilt drilled into his head. And he's also very conversant in how and why you pray. I feel like there's a little fudging here on how much of a Christian he'd been before all this happened, and maybe the story's a little fake. Also,
Maybe.
considering he tries to dip into the I used to be an atheist cred thing to like, you know, make him feel like he was some kind of intellectual that turned. This all happened when he was like a teenage TV star.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure you were a really smart, brilliant atheist, and this is, you know, essentially like, I don't know. I was going to say Richard Dawkins King of Reading, but that's dated a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't judge the man's life. I wasn't there, you know, I'm only hearing from his accounts, but like I think he would agree that like at the time at least it couldn't have possibly been the most serious, you know, application of Christianity, right? Like
He wasn't even a cold case detective.
No, he wasn't even a cold case detective, which, like, how can you even call yourself a Christian at that point if you haven't verified through cold case methods that, you know, Jesus rose from the dead? But anyway, he started studying the scriptures. I couldn't get through enough. Let me start that over. He started studying the scriptures. Quote, I couldn't get enough of the Bible, he recalls. I read about this amazing God who sees my thought life. I don't know why it's worded like that, but that's what it says. Who considers lust to be adultery, who considers hatred to be murder, who sees all the sins that I've committed that no one else knows about, the secret, arrogant attitudes. And instead of giving me what I deserved, he's provided a way for me to be forgiven and changed.
That is a very by the numbers Christian summation of all those issues. Like that comes from somebody who's been in Christian culture for a while. That is not stuff that somebody who just picked up a Bible and started reading it suddenly blurts out.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how much more interested you are in this, but I do think that this next part is interesting to the story arc. Baby Christian Steps is the title of this next part. Cameron's newfound Christian faith began to change the teen heartthrob. Unfortunately, not all of the changes seemed that positive to his colleagues on the set of Growing Pains. When he came back from the summer, what?
Or to me.
Yeah. Real.
Sorry, go ahead.
When he came back from the summer of hiatus in 1990, Kirk was very different, producer Steve Marshall told the cable series E! True Hollywood Story. No practical jokes, very serious. If he wasn't in a scene, he'd go away. Cameron's TV mom, Joanna Kearns, agrees. Kirk kind of pulled away from all of us in a way that made it very odd suddenly, she told E! We were all very close, and then we weren't. He seemed kind of sad, and we thought that was odd for somebody who had found religion, adds Marshall. Usually religion brings joy into a person's life, and he didn't seem very joyful. As he got deeper into his faith, Cameron found himself wanting to be an even stronger role model in the public eye. He now objected to sexual innuendos, such as a scene that actually depicted a bad dream his mother was having. Mike Seaver was to be in bed without his shirt on, lying next to a beautiful girl. The writers wanted him to say the line, "Hey, babe, good morning. By the way, what's your name again?" Immediately, his mother, Maggie Seaver, would bolt up, wake from her nightmare, and be thankful it was just a dream. You didn't know it was a dream at first, says Cameron. It was for shock value. At the time, I felt really uncomfortable with that. He told the producers, surely we can think of something else that would make Maggie break out into a sweat. But the writers felt like the teen star was exerting too much power. That was huge. Writer Lilani Downer recalls that was the night the writers said we're quitting and going home. We're not going to budge on it. It was like a hostage situation. Okay, I know I read a lot there. A couple things to go back on. One, that's crazy. That's crazy that that's a hostage situation. Like, that's not even that funny. But okay, sure, I get it. It was the 80s. You know, the stakes were different. But also, it is kind of weird that people are describing his Christianity as he would basically turn himself away from other people. I'm not saying that's cult behavior, but it is kind of culty a little bit. If he's involved in a church that's like, you know, very high control at the time, again, I'm just speculating. I have no idea. That would kind of make sense as to why he would act like that. And also being suddenly very prudish and very, I don't know, weird.
It's like the Christian version of the angry atheist phase.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Like you can't be all judgmental and stuff when you're still doing like Hollywood TV shows every day, but okay, you know. Very weird.
In
Very
fairness to him, he was just a dumb kid. Like I kind of understand that. You get exposed to religion for the first time, and just like all these kids think they've discovered, assuming there's any truth to this story, you're a teenager and everything you think you find as a kid, whether you're a film bro or a, you know, some kind of nerd for some kind of topic or get political opinions, you think that you know, you're the first person discovered all this stuff and it's super profound. And I can get how he gets sucked into that, assuming this is a true story, but that kind of belies the idea that this was some kind of profound transformation, or that he was like, again, a learned atheist who debunked I don't know, went to Christianity for good informed reasons. Anyway.
I'll wrap it up with these last 3 paragraphs here. Gung-ho about his newfound principles, Cameron began to further ostracize himself from the other cast members. He fell in love with his co-star Chelsea Noble, an actress who was also a Christian, and they began spending their free time together. By the time they married in 1991, none of the Growing Pains cast members were invited to the ceremony.
So basically, it was a dick.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. While cleaning up, the show might have been a gallant effort, even though the show was rather innocuous as far as sitcoms go. The actor admits he made some mistakes common to new believers, such as distancing themselves so far from the world that they do no good for anyone. The show ended in 1992, and Cameron gladly went his separate way. In time, however, he realized his missteps. In 2000, he rejoined his former cast members for a Growing Pains reunion movie. With a decade of spiritual growth under his belt, he stood in front of his TV family and apologized. I was a 17-year-old guy trying to walk with integrity, knowing that I was walking in the opposite direction from many other people. I didn't have the kind of maturity and graceful way of putting things perhaps that I would now, he says. Cameron's fellow actors immediately embraced him. He is once again the Kirk that I remember, co-star Jeremy Miller told E! He is the fun-loving, playful, generous, amazing person that we all grew to love. So, you know, I guess there's something to that.
Maybe he grew up, or maybe he, you know, spent a little of that Growing Pains money and became a little pragmatic about the fact that he wanted to be on that reunion show. I don't know.
I don't know. Again, I can't speculate too much about a guy I don't know. What I will say,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I don't know. It could very easily be he was just a snotty kid, and you know, you do grow up a little bit. He's not the kind of person I want to be fair to, but you do got to be fair to people.
Well, you know, he seems to talk about his ego being a problem, and maybe what it sounds like here is he really thought he was too good for the other people that he was working with, and even now he's still. I mean, come on, it's you know, Iggy and Mr. Kirk. Okay, I feel like, you know, I don't know. There's something.
I didn't have the graceful way of putting things I do now. You damn atheist.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
No integrity.
Yeah, he's so graceful the way he talks about, you know, drag queens and you know, just woke culture and stuff. Really graceful. But yeah, I don't know. You know, he's an actor. You're in front of people all the time. You got thousands of people that think you're hot on TV and stuff. Yeah, you probably got a little bit of an ego, especially if you're a teenager. So like, you know, I can't front him for that. But it's weird that the Christianity kind of ties into that. I don't know. I just thought this was a weird story.
Yeah.
So there's more to it, but really that's the parts I want to cover. Just the weird isolationist aspect of this, mostly to Kirk Cameron's life. I don't know what that's about, but
And he's still just as much of a douche, or maybe even more. But I feel like he's just he's realized you have to do it in a certain time and place, and you have to build an audience around it instead of just venting it at all your coworkers on a TV show.
Well, now he's literally doing it as a TV show, though. To be fair, like he is getting all of his grievances out. So
yeah, that's what I mean. He found a more pragmatic way to.
He's like, I gotta monetize this.
Yeah,
you know, which okay. I don't know. There you go. There's some more Kirk Cameron lore for you guys. So let me know what you think about that in the comments below. But at this
at least
point
he didn't start talking to it. At least he didn't start talking to any of his coworkers about transitional species or anything like that.
I mean, you don't know, dude. Maybe he did. I mean, I don't think he was that deep in the paint yet, probably, right? Like the Crocoduck, it wasn't born overnight, I imagine. That was probably a very calculated, very thoughtful move on his part, for sure. A lot of research, a lot of time.
Yeah.
You know,
he hired many geneticists.
Many geneticists.
Yeah.
He was like, he said, let's talk to the actor from Jurassic Park. Tell me about genetics. That was his research. Anyway, folks, I hope you liked today's Zidanza. Like I said, this won't be monetized, so enjoy the ad-free experience. You got to see it today. But you can help us out by, of course, liking and subscribing, and telling other people about what you like, what you didn't like, and why Kirk Cameron is like weird, I guess. Zod, what's your thoughts on today's show?
My thoughts on today's show.
If you don't crowdfund us, then I'm going to die.
Wait, hold on. Let's get Bingo in the mix here.
You don't want Bingo
I'm gonna
to die.
fucking kill him. I'm gonna kill him live on YouTube. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh,
you
no,
don't give us
Baggy.
the
It
money.
sounds like somebody needs to learn about the love of Jesus.
You're right, Mr. Zod. We need to talk to Bingo about the love of Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna slit his throat right here, right now.
Oh no.
I think we might be getting in deeper than non-monetization territory.
That's true. Bingo's crazy, dude. Bingo posts on Truth Social. He doesn't care. Bingo's gonna post his stream on Rumble or whatever.
Curious nerd kid. I don't know how to say that. Sorry. My ZIR 35. I'm not sure what that is. Sorry. My inner cynical child is loving Baggy and Bingo. Please bring them back in future streams.
I don't know what
Kirk Cameron might have added a whole new dimension to this. We might owe him a debt of gratitude.
That's true. Kirk Cameron might have helped funded some new Zidanza lore tonight, you know, with the Baggy and Bingo. We still have to establish what is their motivations. I think Bingo at this point has proved he is a psychopath on some level. Malevolent narcissist, I think.
I just think he needs the love of Jesus in his life.
I just need money and hookers. That's all I need. Money and blow. That's it.
Oh no, Bingo. Oh no.
Love of Christ, my ass. You're gonna see me deep in the paint real quick.
I feel like Bingo had a drastic change in character.
You want to see me talking about Jesus? Wait till you see me high on this shit right now. I swear to God. This is that.
You don't need to be high when you have the Holy Spirit in your heart.
You need to be high on this fucking shit right now. I got this ayahuasca straight from my dealer from Brazil. This shit's the bomb. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
What are your closing thoughts for this stream?
I think like my closing thoughts are I may need to rethink my priorities in life. Maybe
also maybe rethink how you script your puppet characters.
No, this is actually really good. I'm actually really confident about this. I think I should change careers. Actually, I think I should start producing children's media. I think I'd be really good at it actually. So that's what I'm learning right now. So what about you, Baggy? What did you learn tonight?
My final thoughts tonight are Jesus wants us to crowdfund.
Good, everybody.
Voy a cantar esta canción con mucho cariño de mi corazón a la República Dominicana, la casa del merengue y la casa de la bachata. Voy a cantar esta canción con mucho cariño de mi corazón a la República Dominicana, la casa del merengue y la casa de la bachata. La, 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 la casa del merengue. La, 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 y la casa de la bachata.